Hello and welcome to Hearthstone. Silrace here with another starter deck, and this is the warrior deck, the final deck for my starter deck list. And why is it the final? Well, I had this whole video done and then I saw the patch notes for changing a couple of the basic cards around, Warsong Commander and Charge specifically for the basic cards, and I was like, well, I'll have to rethink that deck, and I had to remake the whole video. Now, the concept is the same as before, just to reiterate. We are trying to make a workable deck with minor amount of crafting, and in this case there is no crafting whatsoever. You do have to hit level 10 as a warrior to ensure you have access to all the basic cards though. However, for this deck, well, we are trying to get a lot of things in go, and I was seriously considering adding a couple of crafted creatures, because warrior has some really nice creatures you really want to craft if you want to play warrior a lot and well. Warrior's class ability gives you 2 points of armor when you use it. This is pretty much equivalent to getting 2 more health. Okay, it interacts with certain cards a little differently than health, but in general concept it works like this. So you shouldn't be too afraid of taking some damage to your hero to help clear the board. And this is how many warriors will have to play their decks. And this is not an exception. We have Fiery War Axe, Arcanite Reaper, we have one Heroic Strike. That is a spell you are free to swap to something else if you absolutely detest the Heroic Strike. Overall, these allow you to clear the board pretty well of enemy minions and creatures, while still retaining your minions on the board. I would highly suggest trying to mulligan aggressively, mulligan meaning swapping your starting cards, making decisions based on those, to have either a Cleave or Fiery War Axe in hand when you begin the game. Now these two cards, Charge and Warsong Commander, got changed with the latest patch. So Warsong Commander got straight up nerfed. The Charge I'm still trying to figure if it actually is worth playing. That's one reason why there is only one Charge in this deck. It's there for you to get, accustomed to the mechanic and to try it out as well. And if you dislike it, swap it out for something else. I was toying around with it a little to figure out if it's like worth it now or not. And so far I found it worth having one of them, because in the later game, especially with this deck, you have rather cheaper minions where you can smack the Charge in and trade it out for a, more expensive creature. Also, the deck has quite a few 3 and less attack creatures, minions. That means Warsong Commander is actually very workable in the deck. Shield Block is one of the 2 card draws in the deck, the other one being the Gnomish Inventor, and Shield Block also straight up gives you, makes your hero more durable. It's overall a good card whenever you need it, whenever you can play it, but it would be better if we included the Shield Slam, in all honesty. However, Shield Slam costs quite a bit to craft, so I didn't want to include it into a, starter deck. Overall, the Shield Block is still a good card because it helps you survive earlier game if you don't pull any other, early game plays. Now, I'll be outright honest and say that the warrior starting decks always feel a little weak, simply because the warrior has quite a few good cards which require crafting. Cruel Taskmaster, Inner Rage, Frothing Bazooka, Shield Slam, especially since this deck already has 2 shield blocks in it, that sort of things. However, things like Frothing Bazooka and Shield Slam can be expensive dust-wise to craft, especially when you are starting out. However, this deck should still get you started on, learning how to play a warrior, how the interaction works, and what sort of basic cards you have. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully this will help you on your way to being the awesome warrior you wanted to be.